Welcome to the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show, the last show for 2021. Today we're talking how to deal with challenging people over Christmas. Well, that was a good start. That was a great start. I couldn't get the buttons to work. Nothing like a good start to the show for the last one for 2021. Can I thank you, all of those who have watched, who've been on, who have commented later on the show. I really do appreciate your input and your questions, all about the things we've covered over 2021. We've certainly covered a wide range of topics, everything from intermittent fasting to weight loss to how to deal with toxic people, which is similar to what we're going to be doing today. We've done, how to create a vision for your future. We've covered so much, and I love bringing the show to you. And I'll share a little bit later on some changes that we may look at in 2022. Before we start the show today, though, I do want to do a big shout out to my sponsors, because without them, I couldn't do this show. In particular, big shout out to Jen Hines at Nas Cosmetics. And I want to share with you two of my favorite products from Nas Cosmetics. Can I say something? I'm tired. I have to admit, I'm tired this year. And I'm probably the same as everybody else. It's been a long, hard year. And for me, whenever I'm tired, it shows up in my face. But I'm so grateful I've got these fantastic products to use. One is this, it's called a mattifying primer. And when you put it on your skin, it literally just allows the makeup to go on really easily. The other one is this veil, Nas Cosmetics veil, which after you put your foundation on, you kind of do this veil. It's a little like airbrushing, and I just love these products. Please reach out to Jen. I know she's got a couple of specials on right now for Christmas. Reach out to her on her website, or you can find her on Instagram. They're fantastic products. The next two products I want to talk about are ones that I've only actually just gotten into, and the reason it took so long is I'm a bit hesitant about things, and I've watched a friend of mine whose skin has changed dramatically this year, and I want to know what you're doing. And so I became a distributor with New Skin. Can I tell you, this morning I was exhausted. I am literally dragging myself to the end of the year just for various things that we've got going on. This is always a busy time for my business, always, and I've got a few things that are coming up in the pipeline, and so I'll share that at the end of the show, what that's all about. But I couldn't get through this time right now without these particular products. As I said, this morning I was exhausted. It's been a huge couple of weeks. I'm involved in a couple of election campaign as well, and just doing a whole heap of other stuff. So I looked terrible this morning. I really looked like I'd gone through the ringer, but I've got these products at this beautiful wrinkle line. Oh my gosh, I sat down, I thought, even though I'm tired, I'm not going to look at, and to use this for a couple of minutes, this wrinkle line with some fabulous gels that they've got, really just made my skin look really good. And the other one I've just invested in is this galvanic body spa that you rub on your body. And just between you and me, I've always been really embarrassed by my arms. Even though I do a lot of work, I do push-ups. You see, you follow me on Insta stories, you'll see I do push-ups and all this, but I never could get rid of that kind of jiggly bit. And also as I age, especially over 60, I'm getting that really crepey skin. And I've been using this body spa, and can I say, for the first time, 10 years, I'm actually really confident about wearing sleeveless dresses. One area of my body I'm focusing on is just my arms, and I know the crepiness is disappearing. I've lost about 1.5 centimeters from my arms, that kind of droopy part under the arms. This is phenomenal. But this was my lifesaver today. These wonderful supplements, R-Squared Day, and that just phenomenal. I took some yesterday. I started yesterday morning at 8 a.m. with a call. My last call was 6:30 last night. I was struggling to get through the day. These have been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal for increasing my energy. So reach out if you want, have a check out my new skin site. I honestly can say 100% these products, both NAS and New Skin, have been absolutely phenomenal this year. I look for ongoing to my continued connections with both of them. But, one of the things as we age, that's fine. I just don't want to look at it. I don't, this is my thing. I don't want to go down the fillers and the Botox path. I don't want to do that. That's my choice. Other people do, and that's fine. It's just not my choice. I have wrinkles. I have lots of smile lines because, as you know, I laugh all the time. This year, a lot of those wrinkles have been caused by what the hell's going on? Those types of wrinkles. But I don't want them to be deeper than they have to be. And that's where these products are the New Skin products, plus combined with the beautiful Nas Cosmetics, where I can look a bit, I don't have to look that old. I'm 65. That's the way it is. I'm not going to get rid of them, but I don't want them to look as deep as they are. So those are my favorite products. Please reach out if you want to know more about them, but I can highly, highly, highly recommend them. And as I said, I don't want to age. I mean, I'm aging. I don't want to look it. Simple as that. Call it what you will. I just don't want to. I remember when I was 12 years, I always looked younger than my age. I didn't develop until I was 17, didn't get my period till I was 17. I was always embarrassed by the fact I never looked, the same age as my friends. And I always remember my mother saying to me, "You'll be grateful. You'll be grateful." I can't see it now. She went and bought me a training bra and we stuffed it full of tissues. I know what she means now. I know what she means. All right, let's talk. Let's talk about challenging people at Christmas. Let me know with a heart or a link or a like or something. Are you about to head into Christmas with some challenging people? As I mentioned in the promo, this year, probably more so than ever, we're all going to, at some point in time, come up against challenging people. We're going to have to, some of us are going to have to be careful what we say. There'll be differing opinions. And, our role as sovereign women is to kind of rise above that, is to rise up. But when you're triggered, it can be really difficult to do that. So what I want to ask is, if you're going to something and somebody is going to challenge you or you feel challenged by them, the question to ask yourself is this: what button are they pushing in you? What button are they pushing in you? Because it doesn't matter what happens to you, as Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say, it's how you respond. And when your buttons are being pushed, your role is not to blame the other person, but to ask the question, what button are they pushing in me? And oftentimes it'll be something from your childhood. It'll be something where you weren't allowed to speak up, or you were told you were stupid, or, where did you get that idea from, or whatever. It'll be something like that. Because really, unless the challenges that are coming now, I think for many of us, are coming from, we have differing opinions about what's going on. And so we have to allow that to happen. We have to allow for that without our buttons being pushed. And I think it's really important. Hey, Dee, nice to have you on the show. Nice to have you on the show. So looking at what buttons are they pushing in me, and then your job really is to deal with that rather than making it about them. The second thing is, what language are you saying to yourself? So if you're going to a function and you've got, great Uncle Bill that always says the same thing, he always challenges you, well, you're setting yourself up for something. So look at the language that you're saying around that, about what your expectations are of the way that great Uncle Bill treats you. Because no matter what we think, feel, we step into the energy. I mentioned a couple of times on the show before about the Heart Map Institute research, where they measured your heart resonance. So what you believe, what you think resonates about a meter out from you. Kind of creates an energy. So if you're going into an event expecting to be challenged, expecting that great Uncle Bill's going to do it again, then he will. And the whole key in all this, as I said, is that it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond. That's where you get your power from. So be aware of the language. So for instance, if great Uncle Bill's going to be there and you go, you know what, this time I'm just going to let it slide. It doesn't matter. And if he says something to me, you know what, bless him. Bless him. Angel disguised as an idiot. I'm blessing a lot of people right now. Let me tell you, I am blessing a lot of people. see some really silly things right now, and I was going, bless you, bless you, bless you for showing up in my life. Bless you. Mm-hmm. Next question is, what outcome are you expecting? You know, we all have this belief somehow, I think, that things are always going to be different. If you've always had issues with great Uncle Bill, he has always been a pain in the butt as long as you can remember. He always has a go at you. He challenges you about your weight or your money, the money you're making, or what you're doing in your job. You go with it. Oh, here we go, great Uncle Bill, is doing it again. Well, what if you change that? What if you change that? Because you want to release the attachment to their desired outcome. Many times challenging people are looking for your response. They want the response. They're looking for it because they like it. They love it when they trigger you. It gives them, a feeling of self-satisfaction. So how do you release your attachment to their desired outcome? You do that by not letting it get to you. You do that by not. And so your inner work then becomes, how do if I know he's going to do this to me again, what energy shift do I need to undertake? So that's where, of course, EFT comes in. Okay. Even though I know this time Uncle Bill's going to push my buttons again, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. He makes me feel small. He makes me feel unworthy. He makes me feel, whenever I go, this just reminds me of what I was like when I was a kid. So you want to tap on that to release that energy connection, change that heart resonance. And it's up to you. It's your responsibility to how you respond to anything in life. Doesn't matter what it is. And then the decision becomes, of course, is it worth you going? Is it worth you going? Is it worth you putting yourself in that position? What do you want? And that's where, you need to be strong enough to create and state your boundaries. So what will I put up with? And to state it. Thanks, Uncle Bill, but I'd rather you didn't say that to me. Thanks, Uncle Bill, but I've had a great year. I appreciate your response. Thank you very much, but please don't speak to me like that again. To be brave enough and strong enough to create and state your own boundaries. What are your boundaries? What will you accept and what you won't? And I've gotten very used to this year saying, sorry, I won't accept that. To people who have in the past, decided that they could say anything they want. Well, no, sorry, no, it's not appropriate. I'm not accepting it. Now, what's interesting is that when you create that strength around you, what you're doing is that you are stepping up into your influence. And I would look around. If you go, I don't know if I can say anything. Well, tap around it. Why not? What are you worried about? What are you worried about? You're worried about their response? So your response doesn't matter? So be strong enough to create and state your boundaries if needed. And again, I heard, I was listening to a podcast this week and a woman talking about her arguments with her husband, and she said, I pick my battles. So that also is essential. It's picking your battles. If you're going into a fractious area and if I say anything, it will inflame the situation, then don't inflame the situation. Remember, this is about you. This is about your strength. This is about how you will walk away. If you walk away from something that's challenging and you just go, gee, I hate the way this happens, and I'm always feeling like this, and that's this hours of wasted energy. They don't care. They don't care. They've said it. It's you that then deals with the aftermath. So pick your battles. Where am I going to create and state my boundaries? Or where am I going to release the attachment to the outcome of what I'm expecting? And as I said, this year could be very challenging for many people. I'll be tapping a lot then. Yes, D. Yes, D. All right, so create and state those boundaries. And next is have an exit strategy. Have an exit strategy. Now, if you're going with your partner and you're going to this event, and Great Uncle Bill always causes drama, and has a few rums and cokes and gets into you, and you've said, okay, I'm going to release the attachment to the outcome. I'll choose whether I create and state my boundaries. The next thing is to have a sign where you both look at each other and go, okay, it's time. And simply make an excuse. Sorry, guys, we've got to go. Not feeling 100%. Thanks for the great lunch. Look forward to catching up in the new year. Something, an exit strategy. So if you know that you think, so I don't want to put up with this any longer, and if I say anything, it will create drama because he's had too much to drink. Thanks, guys. It was wonderful. Not feeling 100%. Got a bit of headache, or I got a big day tomorrow, or it was been so good. Whatever. Have an exit strategy and be prepared to use it gently and kindly, without laying blame and causing a drama. Just, I'm not feeling well and I need to move. Number 7 is implement your physical health practices. Now, this is where exercising, eating well, making sure you're not tired when you go to one of these functions is so incredibly important, because if you're going to one of these functions and you're tired, or you haven't eaten properly, or you're feeling just, fractious, maybe you've had too much sugar and you're feeling a bit jittery, you're going to respond in different ways than when you feel strong. So you want to look at in the lead up to whatever the event is to make sure you're exercising, you're practicing intermittent fasting, drinking lots of water, you get a good night's sleep. You want to do all that so that when you go, you're really centered and an ability to stand in your own power. Because the challenges that come up, it doesn't matter. I did a radio interview this week and we were talking about Christmas, and I said, there's this great expectations that we're all going to be happy families. And if you haven't been a happy family all year long, you're not going to be a happy family on Christmas Day. It's not going to happen. In fact, it's probably going to be worse because there's alcohol involved, because there's, foods that you wouldn't normally be into, because there's this heightened expectation of how it should be. So it's like, okay, lower your expectation. I'm going to go and just enjoy this and live in the present moment. I'm going to do all the inner work. We've got an exit strategy. I've got my boundaries I've created, and I may or may not state depending on how things are going. But I know in myself, when I've had enough, I'll be able to walk away with this without laying blame or justifying, without saying, oh God, he did it again. Okay, well, Uncle Bill was new. Uncle Bill was normal as Uncle Bill always is, and we just chose to leave on good terms, because all comes down to you. Everything all comes down to you. So I'm just going to do a quick tapping for those of you who are on the call to show you some tapping strategies that you can use. But I do want to say we've created a free offer. If you are, I'm just going to copy this and put it back up. If you, where is it? We've got an intermittent fasting guide for Christmas. So if you want to practice intermittent fasting over Christmas, can I say it's a perfect time to do it? I'm going to put it in the comments below that you can practice intermittent fasting over Christmas. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Keep your inflammation down, keep your focus, clear-headedness. Brilliant time to be practicing intermittent fasting, let me tell you. So that's there. That's a free offer that we have. So and intermittent fasting is a great thing to practice over Christmas because, as I said, it keeps you clear-headed. one of the things about intermittent fasting is that it keeps you clear-headed. You're also reducing those toxins. We may be eating foods and drinking things that you normally wouldn't do. So intermittent fasting, practicing it around Christmas is perfect. So there's a free offer for you there. It's in the comments below. All right, let's talk now about a quick tapping a script that you can come back to here and refer to it. And I'll show you a couple of ways to do it. So first of all, if you're anticipating this, every year we go to this, something happens. So you want to do this leading up to going. And then I'll show you what to do while you're at the function, so you don't look like an idiot sitting at the table tapping on your tapping on your face. They go, "Oh, what the hell is she doing now?" We always think she's a little bit weird. Now she's really weird. All right. So first of all, I want you to, we're going to say, even though this always happens whenever we get together, and it pushes my buttons. Those are the words I'm going to use. But I'll show you how it works. If you just want to follow me and think about that person, think about that, maybe something that happened last year. So here we go. Just keep an eye on the time. Even though I'm anticipating it will happen again, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though it's always challenging, he pushes my buttons big time. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm not really looking forward to this. I'd love it to be really nice, but they always push my buttons. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Tapping. It happens every year. I try and push my buttons. I go with all good intentions. And then it starts. I try to stay on top of it. But inevitably, I get drawn into it. It really pushes my buttons. Even though I try hard for it not to. It's exhausting. They really push my buttons. Every year, the same thing happens. And I end up walking away upset. They really push my buttons. And I walk away upset. It happens every year. And it always impacts on me. Take a deep breath and let it go. You can keep coming back and referring to this. Now I'll show you a reframe round, and then I'm going to show you what to do if you're at the function. So let's do a reframe round. Again, we're always looking for you to get that feeling down to a 0 or 2, but for brevity and the show, we're just going to move straight into it. All right. Even though they've always pushed my buttons in the past, I choose to release the attachment to the outcome. Even though they try so hard to push my buttons, I choose to stay calm in the present moment. Even though it happens all the time, this time I choose to remain calm and release my attachment to outcome. Here we go. I choose to release my attachment to the outcome. I choose to remain calm. I choose to remain centered. This is not about me. I choose to forgive them for trying to push my buttons. I choose to breathe and be present. Choose to release my attachment to the outcome. I choose to breathe and be present. Take a deep breath and let it go. All right. Now, if you're at the function and it's happening, remember we can do the finger tapping. So you literally are squeezing the fingers between kind of where the nail bed. It's why people bite their nails, because there's a meridian point there, and it's calming. So when you're feeling stressed, it's, you're around your dinner table and people are driving you nuts, and stick your hand under the table and just squeeze on those finger points. I choose to release attachment to outcome. You're saying it in your mind, not outside. I choose to remain calm. I choose to remain centered. And there's a little, I really like this particular meridian points between the ring and the little finger. And if you kind of feel it's a little bit tender, so just tap there. It can kind of sometimes give you a little bit of a jolt, but that's a great place. And you can always just try to squeeze that. If it's really bothering you, just massage that meridian point. You can always just do this, of course, or chin point. You know how people kind of rub? You're rubbing that meridian point. So you can use those meridian points while you're sitting around the table and they're pushing your buttons. All right. I hope this has been a beneficial show for you for our last show of the year. Thank you so much for being on it. We restart again 12th of January. And the reason I'm taking the break is I'm actually writing a book. Now I've said it. I put it out there. I'm spending the next 3 or 4 weeks putting together a book. The book is partially written, almost there, but I hope to have that book released February 2022. We're supposed to be February 2021, but a lot's changed this year. And because of that, the new book will reflect that. I think, it's interesting, isn't it? When I look back at the manuscript I started to write, this year had to happen in order for it to be a much better book. So February 2022, I will be launching. So I put it out there. You guys are my accountability buddies. So when I'm back on the show on the 12th of January, you can ask, how's your book going? And I look forward to... Oh, thanks, Dee. That's lovely. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, a wonderful New Year, whatever happens between now and next week. Release the attachment to outcome. Go with the flow. Try that intermittent fasting. We've also got 4 free scripts. I'll put that in the comments below. They've got the 4 free scripts that can help. And my YouTube channel. Where is that link? YouTube channel. There it is. My YouTube channel, YouTube/Sally Thibault, for lots and lots of tapping videos. I look forward to seeing you 2022 with blessings, that it turn out to be a year of love and abundance and joy. Have a great Christmas. I hope whatever you're doing, it's wonderful. And I'll see you next year. Bye for now.